Scratching helps cats understand their environment, where they are, what's safe, and what belongs to them. Now, fast forward to your home. Your cat doesn't need to hunt. They don't need to fight for territory. But the instinct is still there, so they adapt it. Instead of marking trees, they mark your furniture. Instead of defining a wild territory, they define a shared home. And that's the shift. This ancient survival behavior becomes something emotional, something relational, something that connects them to you. Have you noticed your cat doesn't scratch everything equally? They have favorite spots, specific corners, certain textures, particular pieces of furniture. Most people think it's random preference, but here's what's actually happening. It's selective bonding. Studies on domestic cats show that they concentrate scent-marking behaviors in areas with the highest emotional significance, places where you sit, where you relax, where your scent is strongest. And here's the part most owners miss. They don't do this with everyone. If there are multiple people in your home, your cat will often focus on the furniture associated with their chosen person. That means something. It means they've picked you, not just as someone who feeds them, but as someone they trust, someone they integrate into their territory, someone they consider part of their world. Think about that for a second. Every scratch mark, it's a sign of that choice. Now we reach the part most owners never realize. Have you ever noticed your cat scratches more during certain moments? After you leave the house, after a loud noise, after a change in routine? That's not random. Here's what's actually happening. Scratching is a coping mechanism. Animal cognition research shows that repetitive behaviors like scratching can help regulate stress and stabilize emotions in cats. It's similar to how humans fidget, pace, or seek comfort objects. But here's where it becomes deeply personal. Your cat chooses your furniture, not just any surface, the one that smells like you, because your scent is calming. Your presence, even when you're not there, is reassuring. So when they scratch your couch, they're not acting out, they're self-soothing, using your scent to feel safe. Think about that. In moments of stress, confusion, or uncertainty, they turn to something that reminds them of you. That's not destruction, that's trust. And remember earlier when I said if your cat suddenly stops scratching, don't ignore it. This is what I was talking about. Most people only worry when their cat scratches too much. But what about when they stop? Completely, suddenly. Here's what most people don't realize. A decrease in scratching can signal physical discomfort, stress, or even emotional withdrawal. Cats rely on scratching not just for their claws, but for their identity and stability. If that behavior disappears, something has shifted. It could be pain, it could be anxiety, or it could be that they no longer feel safe enough to express that instinct. And this is where most owners get it wrong. They feel relieved. They think the problem is gone. But what's actually gone is a form of communication. So if your cat stops scratching, don't ignore it. Pay attention, because silence in this case doesn't mean peace. It might mean something deeper is missing. So when your cat scratches your furniture, do you actually know what they're trying to say? It's not about damage. It's not about disobedience. It's not even just about claws. It's about connection. It's about identity. It's about your cat taking something that smells like you and making it part of their world. That's not destruction. That's belonging. And that simple act, the one that feels frustrating in the moment, it was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.
When your cat scratches your furniture, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, it's frustrating. It feels destructive, like they're ruining something you care about for no reason. But behind that simple action, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you respond the wrong way, which most owners do, you might actually push them away or miss what they've been trying to communicate all along. Let's start with what that scratching really means. Have you ever caught your cat scratching the exact same spot on your couch over and over again? Most people think it's about sharpening claws, or worse, that your cat is being stubborn or disobedient. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat is communicating. Scratching isn't random, it's intentional, it's targeted, and it's meaningful. Cats have scent glands in their paws. Every time they scratch a surface, they're not just leaving marks you can see, they're leaving invisible chemical signals you can't. It's their way of saying, "This space matters to me." Think about that for a second. Your couch, your chair, your bed, they're not just objects to your cat, they're emotional landmarks, places that carry your scent, places where you spend time. And by scratching them, your cat is adding themselves into that story. They're not trying to destroy your space, they're trying to belong in it. And by the way, if your cat suddenly stops scratching altogether, don't brush it off. We'll come back to what that could mean later, and it's something most owners wish they noticed sooner. Have you ever bought your cat a brand new scratching post, only to watch them ignore it and go straight back to your sofa? It feels personal. But here's what most people don't realize. A 2017 study from the University of Lincoln on feline behavior found that cats consistently prefer objects that carry strong human scent markers, especially those associated with their primary caregiver. Here's what that means in simple terms. Your furniture smells like you, and that makes it valuable. Researchers who study feline behavior call this social scent integration. It's how cats blend their identity with yours to feel secure. So when your cat scratches your couch, they're not rejecting the scratching post, they're choosing you. Think about that. Out of everything in their environment, they're drawn to the thing that feels most like you. And here's where it gets even more powerful. When you punish or interrupt that behavior harshly, your cat doesn't understand furniture rules. They feel like they're being pushed away from the very place they feel safest. You've probably heard that cats are territorial, and yes, that's true, but here's what most people don't realize. It's not just about claiming space, it's about building emotional security. When your cat scratches, they're leaving both visual marks and scent signals. This creates what behaviorists call a multi-layered territory marker. A 2020 study on domestic cat scent communication found that these markers actually reduce stress levels in cats by creating a predictable, familiar environment. In other words, scratching calms them. It tells them, "This place is safe. I've been here. I belong here." But what makes this even more meaningful is where they choose to scratch. Not random walls, not hidden corners. Your furniture, your space, areas where your presence is strongest. That's not coincidence, that's connection. They're not just marking territory, they're marking shared territory with you. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Now let's go deeper. Have you ever wondered why scratching feels so instinctive to your cat, like they have to do it? That's because they do. Here's what's actually happening. In the wild, cats rely on scratching to survive. It keeps their claws sharp for hunting, it strengthens their muscles, it leaves scent trails to map their territory. But there's another layer most people miss. It's about orientation.